Hello. Correct. Good afternoon, my dear students. We are here for our regular news analysis program. We shall analyze the Hindu newspaper. I am sure that you all have come after reading the newspapers. So let us not wait further. We shall straight away do the program. I humbly request all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our social media channels, encourage us. Your subscription will be a genuine encouragement to my team and I myself. Please give likes to our Facebook page. So we shall start. The Hindu dated January 8. Biden win confirmed amid pro-Trump mob attack, a total disgrace to American democracy. Straight away I am giving you a question. Please do it. In a few violent turn of events in Washington on January 7, 2021, Donald Trump supporters stormed into the Capitol Hill. What did the US lawmakers summon in the Capitol Hill for? Why did they summon in the Capitol Hill? That's a question asked. February and March bank exam, will there be any notification? Yes, it is expected. State Bank of India is expected in January, February. Generally they notify in January and February. Option 5 and option 2 are given. Anakha says 5, Rose Alex says 2. Yes, let more options come or more people come with correct option. They summoned in Capitol Hill to attend joint session of US Congress to impeach the US President for constitutional violation. They summoned in the Capitol Hill to vote down the presidential decision not to give his assent to the US defense bill. They summoned in the Capitol Hill to pass 900 billion COVID stimulus package. They summoned to pass the US annual budget for the year 2021. What is the answer? Yes, the answer, fifth option is correct. They summoned to confirm and certify the 2020 US presidential election results. It was not for any of these reasons. The reason is that the US congressmen summoned to confirm and certify the 2020 US presidential results. Joseph Biden won the US presidential election. So now it is a transition time. As a part of the procedure, they summoned themselves to confirm and certify the 2020 US presidential election. So I am moving further. The second question you may do. The Capitol Hill where the US Congress sits is in Let the answers come quickly. Of course, it is a very easy pick for everybody. I know it is Washington DC. The second option is your answer. I am proceeding further. The next question, sorry. Biden win confirmed amid pro-Trump mob attack. US Congress confirmed Democrat Joe Biden as the presidential election winner in the 2020 elections. Just imagine what has happened, something that is unheard of in United States, a country that boasts of very long tradition of democracy, the biggest democracy, and people used to say even the oldest democracy. Anyway, a country having very long tradition of democracy, a president, US presidents are generally people with high degree of intellect, but Donald Trump was of a different breed, and he proved all through his presidency that he was a true misfit to the legacy that US presidents kept. So he encouraged the mob to protest against the meeting that was taking place in the Capitol Hill. The meeting was to, they summoned, the US lawmakers summoned themselves to declare and certify the US presidential election results of 2020. 5 people lost their lives in the attack. US president won by a tally 306 to 232. So that's a tally, 306 to Joseph Biden and 232 to the Republican Donald Trump. So for the next 4 years, American presidential seat is going to be occupied by the Democrat Joe Biden. China says the protest in Washington DC is similar to what is happening in Hong Kong. Of course, they got an opportunity to counter United States. Our Prime Minister, despite his personal friendship with the US President Donald Trump, condemned the protest as unlawful, the protest in United States Capitol Hill as unlawful. Distressed to see news about rioting and violence in Washington DC, orderly and peaceful transfer of power must continue. The democratic process cannot be allowed to be subverted through unlawful protests, says the Prime Minister of India. Farmers hold a rehearsal Republic Day tractor parade. Farmers said that they would conduct a parallel parade using tractors on January 26th, the Republic Day, and they have gone for a rehearsal parade. Farmers taking part in tractor rally on Delhi Meerut Expressway on Thursday, the picture shows. Farmers strike continues and it is nearing 40 days, or it has crossed to 40 days. They have been protesting for the repeal of the recently passed laws. 3 farms laws were passed by the parliament. Farmers say that they are against, those laws are against the welfare of farmers. So they are protesting for the past 40 plus days. They have been protesting. Government says that they are ready to concede on certain things, but repeal of law is out of question. But farmers say they will continue. Their karvapasi is possible only if government decides to repeal all the 3 laws. So it is a genuine impasse which the country has to overcome. Third question I am giving, the Central Statistical Office estimated that Indian economy will contract in 2020-21 by, what is your answer? Okay, the answer is the second option, 7.7%. RBI had earlier predicted that the Indian economy would contract by 7.5%. Yes, it is second option, my dear students, it's second option. Listen, RBI had predicted that it would contract by 7.5%, but now Central Statistical Organization Office, CSO, predicts that it will contract by 7.7% for the whole year, April 1, 2022, March 31, 2021. We must understand that in the first quarter, Indian economy contracted by 23%, 23.9, 24%, and in the second quarter the contraction came down, but still it contracted. So for the whole year, economy is not going to grow, but is going to contract by 7.7% as per CSO statistics, and 7.5% contraction was what RBI had predicted earlier. Of course, there will be some differences in calculation of different agencies. GDP likely to contract by 7.7% this fiscal, says the government. Gross domestic product is estimated to contract by 7.7% in 2021, with GVA, gross value added, shrunk by 7.2%. These are two different predictions. Economy had expanded by 4.2% in 2019-20. The previous year, for the whole year, that means 2019-20, it had grown by 4.2%. That was also not an acceptable rate of growth. Even before the COVID, the economy was crawling. Now the COVID-19 pandemic has added fuel to fire to economic growth. It is actually, it is not growing, it is contracting. But the next years may be better for us, let us hope. It 23.9% collapse in the first quarter, April, June, and 7.5% in the second quarter. In the third quarter onwards, economy may grow. That is what different statistics say, and we shall hope that in the whole year the contraction will get limited to 7.5% as RBI predicted, or 7.7% as CSO predicted, and maybe in the last quarter, January, March, if economy really grows, again the real estimate may be less than 7.7% contraction. It may be better, let us hope so. Fruits of incitement. After the Capitol breach, the task of building bipartisan consensus is much harder. Listen, 2020 American election was known for the real divide that was created in the American polity. In the recent past, of course, there has never been such an incident. The entire American polity got divided. So this is the damage that a 4-year stint of a wrong person in presidency can create to even to a democracy of America's kind. Now the article says that it would take time for healing the divide that has already been created. If the history of nations is replete with ironies, nowhere were they more evident than in the US, when the greatest nation on earth became hostage to an ugly attempted coup led by a mob bearing slogans of support for outgoing President Donald Trump. A beautiful statement. It contains everything. A big nation, a nation with long tradition of democracy, in one day they lost that tradition. So read a good article, read. The fourth question is given to you. Avian influenza has been reported from a dozen epicenters in 4 states recently. They include the following except. Which are the 4 states where avian flu is reported? then the question is, which is the state where avian flu is not reported? Let the options come quickly. Yes, Maharashtra is correct. Avian flu is reported in 12 locations in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. I am proceeding. Flu in full flight. The avian flu must be stopped before sustained transmission among humans. Authorities say that it will not get transmitted to human beings if and you need not be worried about the meat, bird meat that may be, the chicken meat that may be used if it is boiled for half an hour. Okay. It is said that only just 3 months after India declared itself to be free of avian flu influenza outbreak, the highly pathogenic avian influenza subtypes H5N1, very important. What is the pathogen? What is the subtype? H5N1 and H5N8 have been reported from a dozen epicenters in 4 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. So H5N1 and H5N8, 2 strains are reported from the 4 states and 12 locations in 4 states. It was only 3 months ago that India had declared that it was free of avian influenza or bird flu. The 5th question is given now. Who was Satya Paul, who passed away recently? Was he a spiritual leader, a scientist, a fashion designer, professor of international relations or none of these? Yes, your time is up. Quickly. Yes, I have started getting the answers. He was known for reinventing sari for contemporary women. He was a fashion designer. He was known for reinventing sari for contemporary women. Very important fashion designer, popular fashion designer in India. Satya Paul, who reinvented the sari, passes away in Coimbatore. So Satya Paul, best known as the designer who reinvented the sari for contemporary women, died. So according to the press release, Satya Paul's inquisitive nature led him to be a pioneer in the field of retailing, starting in the late 1960s and expanding to exports of the finest Indian handloom products to high-end retail stores in Europe and US. In 1980, he launched the first sari boutique in India, La Fair, and in 1986 India's first designer labor with his son. Very important person who passed away. So please take note, a sure short question for our examination too. New freight corridor, a big boost, says the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated new Rewari New Madar section of western dedicated freight corridor and flagged off the world's first 1.5 kilometer long electrified double stack long haul container train. So it's some world first 1.5 kilometer long electrified double stack long haul container train. Very important when India makes some first in something that can come for your examination. I request all of you to read and take down. So we are improving our infrastructure, that is the essence of the story. We are improving our infrastructure. Infrastructure development and improvement is a part and parcel of economic growth. We require different kinds of connectivity to grow. We require electricity connectivity, we require connectivity of telephone lines, we require road and rail connectivity. If all these three connectivities improve, that area will improve. So, India needs all the three kinds of connectivity to grow economically. Now, I provide you the sixth question. Which Indian bank has raised 600 million through bonds in a bid to mobilize a total 1.9 billion? Which is the bank? Okay, I am giving you the answer. I don't wait for you this time. It is the State Bank of India, the fourth option. State Bank of India has raised 600 million through bonds, meaning their debt capital is raised. Capital can be of two types, owner's capital or the share capital and the debt capital. When a company mobilizes money through the bond market, it is raising the debt capital. So, its total plan is to mobilize 1.9 billion, out of which 600 million is mobilized through London market. SBI raises 600 million via bonds, bids total 1.9 billion. As a part of the bid to mobilize 1.9 billion, it mobilized 600 million last week. So, very, very important. At a coupon rate of 1.8%, meaning the interest rate is only 1.8%. It is at 1.8% that SBI was able to mobilize 600 million. World Food Price Index rises for the 7th straight month in December. Food prices are going up, warns Food and Agricultural Organization FAO. FAO Food Price Index, which measures monthly changes for a basket of cereals, oilseeds, dairy products, meat and sugar, averaged 107.5 points last month versus 1.5.2 in November. So, steadily it is increasing. Steadily the food price indices are increasing. So, that is a worrying sum for the world, because if food prices go up immediately, people will be deprived of food, a basic need, the very basic need. So, for the whole of 2020, the benchmark index averaged 97.9 points, a 3-year high and a 3.1% from 2019. So, it was still down more than 25% from the historical peak in 2011. It was in 2011, just at the end of the global recession that started in 2008, 2009, that the food prices peaked like anything, but it was 25% less than the historical peak of 2011, but still increase in food prices is a worrying factor for the world. The seventh question is given to you. Please read. The Union government has announced the Industrial Development Package 2021 for Jammu and Kashmir. The package aimed at creating 4.5 lakh jobs, attracting rupees 20,000 crore of investment. The size of the package is 24,800 crore, will remain in force for 17 years till 2037. All the above, none of these. Will you explain the differences in powers of Mark Pence and Kamala Harris? Mark Pence is the Vice President of United States of America presently. Kamala Harris is going to be the Vice President along with the President Joseph Biden on January 20. So, one person is the present Vice President, while Kamala Harris is going to be the Vice President on January 20. She will assume the office on January 20. I think, Gauri, I answered your question. Will you explain the difference in the powers of Mark Pence and Kamala Harris? Okay, the answer is correct, all the above. Very important question, very important. 24,800 crore industrial deal for J&K. Jammu Kashmir Lieutenant Government Manoj Sinha on announced 28,400 crore. I think I made a mistake. It was a typo. I gave it in the question paper as 24,800. It is 28,400. So our answer, our question, please make a correction. Here I gave 24,800. Actually the figure is 28,400. It is a typo, so bear with me. The investment is 28,400. Industrial package 2021, creating 4.5 lakh jobs, attracting 20,000 crore investment in the Union Territory. Very, very important, and the package will remain in force for 17 years till 2037. Yes, Rahul, I accept. The second option was a typo. I am sorry for that. I made a correction. I hope you would go. The eighth question, the autobiography of Pranab Mukherjee is titled, I gave it this question earlier, the answer is The Presidential Years. The Presidential Years, the fourth option. Ninth question, name the legendary Indian cricketer whose portrait was displayed at the Bradman Museum in Bovril at the Sydney Cricket Ground SCG. Whose portrait was displayed at the Bradman Museum at SCG? The answer is Sunil Gavaskar. The fifth option, Sunil Gavaskar. 10th question, who among the following has been the first woman match official in the men's test when she has taken up the role in the second cricket test between India and Australia? The option is the first one, Clary Polosak. Clary Polosak is the first woman to officiate a men's cricket test event. She is an Australian. She was also the first on-field umpire in the men's ODI one-day international match in ICC's Division League between Namibia and Oman. When the ICC's Division League match took place between Namibia and Oman, she was the on-field umpire. She was the first woman on-field umpire for an ICC match. She is an Australian. 11th question, who among the following has been elected the President of All India Chess Federation? The answer is the third option, Sanjay Kapoor. Sanjay Kapoor is the answer. Okay, thank you very much, my dear students. The last few questions were from January 7. In fact, those who watched yesterday's program would know that I skipped the objective questions during the presentation. I included that in today's presentation, January 8 presentation. So please go through the presentation completely. Please read the newspapers. Whatever things you skipped, it's a chance for you to read and reread all the articles. It is not just the news items that you have to read. Read the articles, the center page article, the editorials. It will enrich you like anything. Thank you very much. At 3 o'clock we shall meet again with another live session which is open to all. Thank you. Goodbye.